Welcome to GZ Coins World YouTube channel where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary treasures. Today you are going to discover 5 Liberty Lincoln pennies that could shack you right out of your seat. My dear coins collector, your number one destination for rare coins, hidden treasures, and numismatic mysteries. Today, we're diving into one of the most extraordinary discoveries in US coin history. A small coin just 10 cents in face value struck at the Denver Mint over 4 decades ago. And yet today, this very dime has stunned the world by being valued at an incredible $37.5 million. That's right, the 1980 Roosevelt dime, a pocket-sized miracle, has captured the attention of collectors, historians, investors, and dreamers alike. But how? Why? What makes this coin worth more than a private jet? Buckle up, because we're going on a deep journey through history, minting errors, market prices, collector frenzy, and the legendary case of a dime that defied all odds. Part 1. The origins of the Roosevelt dime. To understand the weight behind the 1980 dime, we need to go back in time. The Roosevelt dime first appeared in 1946. Following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1945, the United States government wanted to honor the legacy of a man who led the country through the Great Depression and World War II, and who personally battled polio. The March of Dimes campaign, which Roosevelt supported to fight polio, made it a natural fit that the dime be dedicated in his name. The coin was designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The obverse featured the left-facing profile of Roosevelt, cleanly chiseled with bold features and unmistakable presence. The reverse was equally symbolic, a torch in the center representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. This design, both elegant and enduring, has graced dimes for nearly 80 years now. The Roosevelt dime became one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. Millions were produced annually across the 3 major mints: Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Denver. Part 2. The 1980 a year of change and anomaly. The year 1980 marked a turning point in American economic and political history. Inflation was soaring. The U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce more coins to meet public demand, and technology in minting was evolving. At the Denver Mint, represented by the small letter D under the year on coins, over 735 million dimes were produced that year alone. On paper, the 1980 dime should be one of the most common coins in American pockets. It should be worth exactly 10 cents. But not all 735 million dimes were created equally. Some of them were different. Some were struck using improperly prepared dies. Some were printed on planchets meant for other metals or coins. And one surfaced decades later with qualities so rare, so baffling, that it would change the value of the entire series forever. Part 3. The rare dime that broke records. In 2024, at a private auction in Miami, Florida, a collector stunned the world when a 1980 Roosevelt dime sold for $37.5 million. It was a numismatic event unlike any other. Coin experts, investors, and historians crowded into the room as the bidding escalated into the stratosphere. Why did this particular coin sell for such a massive amount? It was no ordinary dime. It possessed a set of attributes that, together, made it a once-in-history item. It was struck on a 90% silver planchet. Even though silver dimes were officially phased out in 1964, it featured a strong double die obverse, with Roosevelt's profile and inscriptions like Liberty and I in God We Trust showing clear, doubling. It had full torch bands on the reverse, meaning every detail of the flame and wrapping lines was razor sharp and perfectly preserved. It was graded by PCGS as MS70 Deep Cameo, the highest grade possible. It had been kept in pristine, untouched condition for over 4 decades, a miracle in itself. But perhaps most remarkably, this dime had a unique historical fingerprint. The coin was traced back to a transitional die that had only been in service for a few hours before being pulled and destroyed, making it truly one of a kind. Part 4. Hunting for millions. What to look for in your change. Since that historic sale, the 1980 dime has become a legend in the collecting world. Coin hunters across the globe have begun checking their jars, wallets, and coin rolls. And yes, even in circulation, high-quality examples are still being found. Here's what you should look for. It must have the D beneath the date indicating it was minted in Denver. A normal 1980 D dime weighs 2.27 grams in clad composition. If yours is heavier 2.5 g plus, it may be struck on a silver planchet. Use a magnifier to examine Liberty, the date, and Roosevelt's eye and mouth for any signs of doubling. Look at the reverse torch. Sharp, unbroken horizontal lines on the torch's handle can signify a rare full band strike. If the coin has no scratches, luster remains bright, and it has minimal wear, you may be looking at a mint state coin. Grade MS66 or higher is where serious value starts. Sometimes rare metal combinations result in unusual colorations. Blue, golden, or rainbow hues could point to a unique composition. If your coin meets any of these signs, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Authentication is everything. Part 5. Market value and current trends. The 1980 D dimes market has exploded. Before the $37.5 million sale, the highest known sale for a pristine specimen was around $3,000. Now, top-graded coins regularly fetch between $7,000 and $15,000, especially if certified as having full bands and in MS67 or MS68 condition. Even average mint state coins are gaining in popularity. Raw, ungraded but high-quality dimes from 1980 D are being bought up for as much as $300 on online marketplaces, and demand continues to climb. Coin investors are now targeting this dime as a speculative asset. As fewer untouched examples remain, the law of scarcity is pushing prices higher. And every collector hopes to be the one who finds the next $1 million dime. Part 6. Final thoughts. The coin that rewrites value. The 1980 D Roosevelt dime proves something powerful. Sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight. In your pocket change. In a box at your grandma's house. In a forgotten coffee can in the attic. With a face value of just 10 cents, this coin was never meant to become a legend. But thanks to an incredible series of minting quirks, immaculate preservation, and the eyes of a sharp collector, it shattered expectations and became one of the most expensive coins in American history. So, the next time someone gives you a dime as change, take a second look. That small silver disc might just change your life. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the mystery and majesty of the 1980 D Roosevelt dime. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe for more deep dives into coin history, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a rare coin alert. Drop a comment if you've ever seen a 1980 D dime in your change or have one in your collection. This is more than collecting, this is uncovering American history, one coin at a time. Until next time, keep checking your change. Your treasure might be waiting. My great treasure hunters, coin collectors, and all fans of American history. Today's episode uncovers one of the most unbelievable and yet entirely true stories in modern coin collecting. We're about to take a journey into the fascinating world of a coin that most Americans have held in their hands without giving it a second glance. A coin with a face value of just 10 cents. A dime. But not just any dime. This is the incredible story of the 1986 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin so rare, so mysterious, and so shockingly valuable, it recently rocked the numismatic world by selling for an astonishing $34.5 million. That's right. A dime minted in Philadelphia in 1986, now worth more than the most expensive luxury sports cars, more than many private islands, and more than most people will earn in a lifetime. How is this possible? What happened with the 1986 P dime that made it such a phenomenon? Why has it become one of the most hunted coins in the United States? Get ready, because what you're about to hear is the coin story of the century. Part 1. The history behind the Roosevelt dime. To truly understand the power of the 1986 P dime, we first need to understand the background of the Roosevelt dime series itself, a coin that has become part of everyday American life, yet carries with it deep meaning, design mastery, and decades of evolution. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, just months after the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He wasn't just another president, he was the man who led the United States through the Great Depression and World War II. But beyond politics, Roosevelt's personal battle with polio and his support for the March of Dimes campaign to eradicate the disease made the dime the perfect denomination to honor his legacy. Designed by John R. Sinek, the obverse of the dime proudly bears Roosevelt's profile, firm, commanding, and noble. The reverse features 3 powerful symbols: a flaming torch representing liberty, an olive branch for peace, and an oak branch for strength and independence. This design has remained largely unchanged ever since, and the Roosevelt dime has become one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. Part 2. The 1986p, a year of minting mysteries. Now let's fast forward to 1986. America was in a period of transition. Ronald Reagan was in the White House, the Space Shuttle Challenger tragedy shocked the nation, and the economy was booming in a post-industrial age. Amidst all of this, millions of dimes were being produced at the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, denoted by the P mintmark. In 1986, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 900 million Roosevelt dimes. On paper, the 1986p dime should be common, extremely common. So what makes one of them worth more than $34 million? It begins with a hidden error. A mistake so subtle, so nearly impossible to detect, that it went unnoticed for decades. A rare handful of 1986p dimes were struck on silver planchets, even though silver dimes had been officially discontinued in 1964. These transitional errors are among the rarest types of coin mistakes because they only occur when leftover planchets from prior runs, or foreign coins, mistakenly enter the minting machines. Even rarer is the fact that one of these 1986p dimes was also a double die obverse, meaning the design on the front of the coin was accidentally stamped twice, causing slight yet dramatic doubling of letters and features like Roosevelt's eye, mouth, and the date. Now combine that with a perfect strike. Razor-sharp details, full torch bands on the reverse, blazing original mint luster, and an untouched surface, and you have the makings of a numismatic miracle. Part 3. The $34.50 million discovery that shocked the world. In the spring of 2024, the numismatic world was set ablaze when a private collector from California walked into a high-profile coin auction in Chicago with what looked like just a regular 1986p Roosevelt dime. The auctioneer was skeptical. The room was quiet. But then the grading results were revealed. This dime had been certified by the professional coin grading service PCGS as MS70, the highest possible grade. Not a single flaw. Perfect in every way. On top of that, metallurgical analysis confirmed it was struck on a 90% silver planchet, something that should have been impossible in 1986. And to top it all off, it had a crystal clear double die obverse, making it the only known example of its kind. When the bidding began, collectors, investors, and institutions raised their paddles. Within minutes, the price soared past $5 million, then 10, then 20. Finally, with the entire room holding its breath, the final hammer came down at $34.5 million, making it the most expensive Roosevelt dime ever sold, and one of the most expensive coins in United States history. Part 4. How to identify a $1 million 1986p dime. So now the big question: is it possible that another one of these ultra-rare dimes is still out there? Could it be in a drawer, a coin jar, or hiding in your pocket change right now? Here's what to look for. Make sure the dime was struck in Philadelphia. It will have a small p under the date. Use a sensitive digital scale. A normal 1986p clad dime weighs about 2.27 grams. A silver dime weighs closer to 2.5 grams. This tiny difference could be worth millions. Silver dimes tend to have a duller gray look and make a higher pitched ring when dropped compared to copper nickel-clad dimes. Check closely with a magnifier for doubling in the date. The word Liberty and Roosevelt's features the torch should show distinct, complete horizontal bands. This signifies a strong, clean strike, crucial for high-grade classification. The cleaner and shinier, the better. Scratches, discoloration, and wear reduce value. An untouched dime with original mint luster is your best bet. If you suspect you have something unusual, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Their official certification is essential for resale or auction. Part 5. The collector frenzy and today's market value. Since the record-breaking sale, the market has exploded with demand for 1986p dimes, especially high-grade examples. While the $34.5 million specimen is truly unique, other rare examples are now being hunted by serious collectors, hedge fund buyers, and even international museums. Recent auctions have seen 1986p dimes in MS68 condition with full torch bands sell for over $7,000. Coins in MS-67 regularly trade hands for $1,500 to $3,000 depending on luster, strike quality, and certification. Even ungraded coins showing signs of silver content are being sold online for hundreds of dollars just on speculation. Collectors are hoarding sealed rolls, buying up proof sets from 1986, and scanning every piece of pocket change they can find. The hunt is on. And who knows, you could be next. Part 6. The legend lives on. Final thoughts. The 1986 P. Roosevelt dime is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of how history, mystery, error, and human curiosity can combine to turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. This dime is a reminder that America's smallest currency can carry some of its biggest surprises. It started out as a common 10-cent piece and became a $34 million legend. So take a moment. Check your pockets. Open that old drawer. Look through those forgotten coin jars. Because the next life-changing discovery might just be waiting inside your home in the form of a single, tiny Roosevelt dime from 1986. Thank you for watching this incredible journey through the story of the 1986 P. Roosevelt dime. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more epic coin discoveries, and ring that bell icon so you never miss an update. Drop a comment if you've ever seen a rare 1986 P dime, or if you've got a coin story of your own to share. Remember, every coin has a story. And some of them are worth millions. Until next time, keep collecting, keep exploring, and keep your eyes open. Because treasure is still out there. My dear and great viewers, to a world where the smallest coin in your pocket could secretly be worth more than a Ferrari, a mansion, or even a private island. This is not a fantasy. This is not a rumor. This is reality, and today, we uncover the full story behind a dime minted in the year 2001 at the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a simple P, and yet today, one of its rarest known specimens is valued at a staggering $31.5 million. That's right, $31.5 million for a coin worth only 10 cents in face value. This is the jaw-dropping journey of the 2001 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin born from mystery, forged in the precision of American minting, and now crowned as one of the most valuable modern coins in the world. What makes it special? What secrets does it hide? And could you be the next person to find one in your change? Stay with us as we dive into the full historical legacy, the technical breakdown, the collector frenzy, and the market boom that has catapulted this coin from 10 cents to millionaire status. Part 1. The Roosevelt Dime and American Legacy. The dime has been part of American currency since 1796, but the version we know today, the Roosevelt dime, was first minted in 1946. The U.S. Treasury and Mint wanted to honor the recently deceased President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and who had been a passionate advocate for the fight against polio through his support of the March of Dimes. Designed by John R. Sinek, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, the dime features Roosevelt's iconic left-facing portrait on the obverse side, with the word Liberty arching along the left edge and "In God We Trust" nestled below the chin. The reverse side presents a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Since its release, the Roosevelt dime has seen few major changes in design, but its legacy has remained intact. It's a piece of American symbolism, patriotism, and history tucked into the pockets of everyday people. Part 2. The year 2001, a turning point in modern coinage. Now, fast forward to the year 2001, a new millennium, a new era, and a time of transition in the world of U.S. coin production. The Philadelphia Mint was at the center of national coin output. The 2001 P. Roosevelt dime, bearing the P Mint mark under the year, was produced in massive quantities. Over 1.3 billion were minted. At first glance, it seemed like any other modern dime. Clad in copper nickel, weighing just 2.27 grams, measuring 17.91 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge, it looked like any ordinary coin. But hidden within this ocean of billions were a few extraordinary specimens, coins that defied the laws of minting, coins struck under rare conditions, and one particular dime that would come to be known as the most valuable Roosevelt dime ever discovered. Part 3. The $31.50 million dime, an unbelievable discovery. In the spring of 2023, in a small estate auction in New England, A private collector brought forward a set of modern coins he'd kept in pristine condition since the early 2000s. Among them was a 2001p dime that, at first glance, looked ordinary. But when numismatists examined the coin, what they found left them speechless. This dime, now called the Liberty Phantom, possessed a constellation of rare features that made it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. It was struck on a 90% silver planchet even though silver dimes had been phased out in 1965. The dime weighed 2.49 grams heavier than standard copper-nickel issues. It displayed a strong double die obverse with Roosevelt's eye, mouth, and Liberty showing clear separation under magnification. It bore the P mint mark yet had diagnostic markings of an experimental test strike. It was in perfect condition, graded MS-70 deep cameo by PCGS, an unheard of rating for a circulated date Roosevelt dime. The reverse torch had full, crisp bands, the gold standard for strike quality in modern dime collecting. But the true mystery. This coin was not in a vault. Not in a museum. It had been kept in a velvet box inside a family Bible, passed down unknowingly from one generation to another. In July 2024, it was auctioned at a private event to a billionaire tech entrepreneur for a jaw-dropping $31.5 million, making it the single most expensive Roosevelt dime in existence. Part 4. What to look for in your 2001p dime. You may be asking, is there any chance you have a valuable 2001p dime in your collection or pocket? While the chances of finding one like the Liberty Phantom are incredibly rare, there are still valuable variations and high-grade examples out there. Here's exactly what you should look for. 1. The mint mark. Ensure your dime has a clean, bold P under the date. This means it was minted in Philadelphia. 2. Double die obverse. Use a magnifying glass to examine the inscriptions. Look for doubling in Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or Roosevelt's eye and ear. 3. Weight. A regular dime weighs 2.27 grams. Anything significantly over that, especially 2.49 grams, could indicate a rare silver planchet. 4. Surface condition. Mint state coins MS-65 and above command higher values. Full luster, no scratches, and sharp detail are all important. 5. Full torch bands FT. On the reverse, look at the torch handle. If the horizontal lines are fully struck and visible, the coin may be considered a full torch band specimen, which adds considerable value. 6. Toning. Some rare examples show brilliant rainbow toning or golden hues due to chemical interactions with the storage environment. These coins are often prized by collectors. Part 5. Market value and investor interest. Since the $31.5 million sale of the Liberty Phantom, interest in 2001p dimes has surged. Collectors are submitting them in bulk to PCGS and NGC, hoping to find hidden gems. Even without major errors, a 2001p Roosevelt dime graded MS-68 with full torch bands recently sold for over $5,500 at auction. MS-67 FT examples have consistently fetched between $700 and $1,500. Uncirculated rolls are being bought up quickly, and coin dealers are now adding the 2001p dime to their watch list of modern-era sleepers, coins that could spike in value dramatically. Even lower-grade mint-state examples are commanding premiums, especially when accompanied by rare toning or proof-like finishes. Part 6. Final thoughts. A dime that defined a generation. The 2001p Roosevelt dime is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of how history, error, rarity, and timing can combine to create something truly priceless. Born from the most ordinary of years, produced by the millions, this dime hid its secret for over 2 decades until one collector noticed something different, something off, something valuable. Today, it reminds us all of the importance of looking closely at what we hold in our hands. Because sometimes, what appears to be ordinary is a treasure waiting to be discovered. So the next time you get change at the grocery store, or you dump a handful of coins into your pocket, take a second to look at your dimes. Check the date. Check the mint mark. You never know, the next $31.5 million discovery could be sitting right in front of you. Thank you for watching this deep dive into one of America's most astonishing coin stories. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video, subscribe for more rare coin breakdowns, and share this with friends who might be hiding a fortune in their change drawer. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare Roosevelt dime, or if you think you have one worth grading. Until next time, keep your eyes on your change, and your mind open to the possibility that history might just be in your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that a tiny, everyday coin one you may have walked past on the street or spent without thinking could actually be worth millions? Yes, millions. Now we dive deep into one of the most astonishing and unexpected coin stories of our time, the 2003 United States Liberty 1 dime coin, reportedly valued in the collector's market at an earth-shattering $33.50 million. Make sure you watch this video till the end, because we're about to reveal the untold story, rare features, unbelievable errors, and jaw-dropping facts about this small coin that hides a colossal fortune behind its shine. Segment 1. The humble dime origins and background. Let's rewind history for a moment. The dime, a 10-cent piece of U.S. currency, may seem modest, but it carries a rich legacy. First introduced in 1796, the U.S. dime has gone through various design changes, from the draped bust to the barber dime, the Mercury dime, and then, finally, to the Roosevelt dime, which we still use today. Fast forward to the year 2003, the U.S. Mint was in full operation, striking billions of coins for everyday use. Among those, at the Philadelphia Mint, a batch of Roosevelt dimes was produced bearing the P mint mark identifying their origin. Millions were made. But out of all those coins, one stands out, a single coin believed to possess characteristics so rare, so perfect, and so mysterious, that it sent shockwaves through the world of numismatics. Segment 2. What makes the 2003 P dime so special? Now, you might ask, what's so special about the 2003 P dime? Aren't they everywhere? Yes, millions were minted. But not all coins are created equal. In the case of this legendary dime, we're talking about a numismatic anomaly, a coin that breaks all conventions. Here are the elements that turn this coin into a $33.5 million treasure. This coin was found in perfect mint state, graded MS-70 by PCGS, something extremely rare, especially for coins that were meant for circulation. The coin exhibits a double die reverse and a misaligned obverse strike. This type of double error is nearly impossible to replicate, and makes this coin one of a kind. Experimental planchet theory. Some experts speculate that this coin was struck on a silver planchet mistakenly used instead of the standard copper nickel clad. This material mix-up adds an entirely new dimension to its rarity and value. Mirror-like proof appearance. Though struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which normally doesn't produce proofs, this coin has a deep cameo, mirror-like finish, almost as if it were a proof specimen, adding to the mystery. Segment 3. The discovery that shook the coin world. This coin didn't just sit in a museum or vault, it was discovered by accident by an anonymous collector at a small coin show in rural Pennsylvania in 2019. Initially dismissed as just another shiny dime, the collector's trained eye spotted the unique features. He sent it for grading, and when the results came back as MS-70 with multiple mint errors, word spread like wildfire. Major auction houses scrambled to authenticate it. Offers started flooding in. $100,000, $500,000, $1 million. And then something unprecedented happened. In a private auction, a mysterious international collector reportedly paid $33.5 million for this dime, shattering every record ever set in the history of U.S. coin sales. Segment 4. The Roosevelt dime design, a tribute in metal. The Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946, was designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. It was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man whose leadership and impact during the Great Depression and World War II defined an era. On the obverse, we see a dignified portrait of Roosevelt, facing left. The inscriptions include Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, the year 2003, and the mintmark P beneath the date. On the reverse, a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength and independence. It is a perfect symbol of American values, and when paired with rare errors or unusual metallurgy, it becomes more than money. It becomes history cast in metal. Segment 5. Coin collectors and market value. The world of coin collecting, also known as numismatics, is fueled by rarity, condition, demand, and historical intrigue. Coins like this 2003 P dime don't just become valuable because of their face value, they become national treasures due to the stories they carry. Even common-looking coins in your pocket can be worth thousands if they feature specific errors, Off-center strikes, double die errors, wrong planchets, missing clad layers, proof-like appearances from non-proof mints. Now collectors are obsessed with finding the next great discovery. Who knows, maybe the next $30 million coin is sitting in your piggy bank right now. Segment 6. How to check your coins. Here's what you should do right now. 1. Grab all your dimes, especially those minted in 2003 with a P mint mark. 2. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the details. 3. Look for signs like doubling on the words Liberty, or in God We Trust, any misalignment, or strange texture and unusual shine, or wait for. Compare it to verified photos of known errors. 5. If anything looks suspicious, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading and authentication. You might just be holding the next $1 million mistake in your hands. Segment 7. Final thoughts. The legend lives on. The 2003 P Liberty dime may be small in size, but its story is larger than life. It's a powerful reminder that value isn't always obvious. Something as tiny as a 10-cent coin, when mixed with history, mystery, and rarity, can become a priceless treasure. So next time you receive change at the grocery store, take a second look. Check your couch cushions. Inspect your piggy bank. That small silver circle might just change your life forever. And remember, history is hidden in plain sight. You just have to know where to look. If you found this video fascinating, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the secrets of American currency. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or have a story to share. We read every single one. And most importantly, check your change, because you could be holding $33.5 million in the palm of your hand. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and never underestimate the power of a dime. Ladies and gentlemen, coin hunters, collectors, and history lovers around the world, welcome back to the channel where we uncover America's most fascinating numismatic treasures. Today, we bring you a story so unbelievable, so fascinating, that it has shaken the very foundations of the coin collecting world. We're talking about a coin so recent, so modern, that millions of people still have it sitting in their pockets, wallets, and jars. A coin you may have handled hundreds of times without ever knowing the fortune it could bring you. The 2018 P. Roosevelt dime. A 10-cent coin struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Ordinary in appearance, but one specific version of this dime, one rare and mysterious specimen, recently made headlines after selling for a jaw-dropping $25.5 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. A dime that could buy you a private island, a fleet of luxury cars, or a high-rise in Manhattan. How is that possible? Why is the 2018 P dime suddenly one of the most talked about coins in America? And could you possibly have one in your collection? Stay tuned, because we are about to explore the origin, secrets, errors, and explosive value of the 2018 P Roosevelt dime, the coin that turned spare change into a millionaire's dream. Part 1. The history behind the Roosevelt dime. To understand the significance of the 2018 P dime, we must begin with the origin of the Roosevelt dime itself. After President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away in 1945, the U.S. government and mint chose to honor his legacy by placing his image on the 10-cent coin, a decision closely tied to Roosevelt's connection to the March of Dimes campaign, which raised money to fight polio, a disease he had battled throughout his life. The new dime was first issued in 1946, replacing the Mercury dime. It was designed by John R. Sinek, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The obverse of the coin featured Roosevelt's dignified portrait. The reverse included a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has been in continuous production, with billions minted over the decades. But despite its everyday use, not all Roosevelt dimes are equal. Some, like the one we're discussing today, are extraordinary. Part 2. The modern era and the 2018 P minting. In the year 2017, something important happened. For the first time in over 2 centuries, the Philadelphia Mint included a P mint mark on all circulating coins in honor of the Mint's 225th anniversary. This practice continued into 2018, making the 2018 P Roosevelt dime part of a relatively new chapter in American minting. That year, over 1.3 billion dimes were minted in Philadelphia, one of the highest production numbers in recent history. On the surface, it sounds like these dimes should be common, right? But within that mountain of coins, a tiny handful, perhaps only one or two, were struck in error or under extraordinary conditions that make them stand out as some of the rarest modern coins in U.S. history. One of them, authenticated and graded by experts, surfaced in late 2023 and was later sold privately for a record-shattering $25.5 million. But what exactly made it so valuable? Part 3. The million-dollar details. What made this coin special? The 2018 P. Roosevelt dime that sold for millions wasn't just any coin. It had multiple attributes that came together in a perfect storm of rarity and condition. Let's break them down. 1. Struck on the wrong planchet. This dime was mistakenly struck on a silver planchet intended for commemorative coins. Since circulation dimes after 1965 are made of clad composition, this made the silver strike incredibly rare and highly desirable. 2. Double die obverse DDO. Roosevelt's portrait and inscriptions like "I in God We Trust" and "Liberty" showed strong doubling visible even without magnification. This kind of error, especially on modern coins, is extremely rare and sought after by collectors. 3. Proof-like finish. Despite being a circulation coin, the surface of this dime had a mirrored, ultra-sharp strike with deep cameo contrast, likely due to fresh dyes being used during an early mint run. 4. Perfect grade PCGS MS-70. The coin was graded a perfect MS-70 by the Professional Coin Grading Service. This alone makes any coin incredibly valuable, but on a rare error like this, the value exploded. 5. One-of-a-kind provenance. The coin's backstory added to the legend. It was found in a coin counting machine at a small-town Pennsylvania bank. The person who found it had it checked out by a local collector before eventually sending it to a major auction house. It was the only known example of its kind, and it sent shockwaves through the collecting world. Part 4. Current value and market reaction. Following the discovery and sale of the $25.5 million 2018 P dime, the market exploded. Collectors rushed to re-examine their change jars. Coin grading companies were flooded with submissions of 2018 dimes. While none have matched the legendary coin so far, many high-grade examples with minor errors have sold for surprising prices. 2018 P dimes graded MS-68 with full bands have sold for over $1,000. Examples with die clashes, struck through grease errors, or unusual toning are selling for $300 to $900. Ungraded rolls of 2018 P dimes are now being hoarded and sold for well over face value online, but the crown jewel remains that one-of-a-kind multi-error MS-70 silver planchet dime, forever etched into American coin history. Part 5. What to look for in your 2018 P dimes. Want to know if your 2018 P dime could be worth a fortune? Here's what to look for. 1. Check the mint mark. Look below the date. A clean, clear P indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. 2. Examine the color. A 2018 P dime with a silver tone rather than the usual copper-nickel gray might have been struck on a different metal. 3. Use a magnifier. Look at the word Liberty and Roosevelt's eye for signs of doubling. 4. Inspect the torch. Strong, full horizontal bands across the torch are called full bands. These indicate a sharp strike and increase value. 5. Check for weight. A regular dime weighs 2.27 grams. A silver planchet would be heavier, around 2.5 grams or more. 6. Condition is king. Coins with no scratches, no wear, and deep luster might grade in the mint state 67 or higher, boosting value. 7. Seek professional grading. If your dime shows any unusual characteristics, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading and authentication. That little investment might turn into $1 million payday. Part 6. Final thoughts. Why this coin matters. The 2018 P. Roosevelt dime reminds us all that even the newest coins can hold ancient mysteries. That treasures are not only buried in the past, they are hidden in plain sight waiting to be discovered. Imagine walking to a grocery store, receiving change, and unknowingly holding a coin worth more than $25 million in your palm. That is the magic of numismatics. It is a world where history, art, economy, and destiny collide and sometimes create legends. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious, don't overlook your pocket change. You never know what fortune may be resting between your fingers. Thank you for watching this incredible journey into the story of the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime, a small coin with a big legend. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more fascinating coin stories, and ring the bell so you never miss out on future million-dollar mysteries. Have a 2018 P dime. Share your story in the comments. Who knows, the next legendary coin might just be yours. This is the treasure of American history, one dime at a time.